What's up, gente? What's up, Raza? Just wanted to do a quick update on this war, illegal war in Iran, and I want everybody to know right off the bat: 165 little girls, schoolgirls, have been killed. This is not new, and this is news that, for the most part, this administration has been trying to hide and trying to deny that it even happened. The total amount is about 175 people because it included the staff and the teachers. And I bring this to your attention because, as raza, as gente, we are a large in number in population, and many of our own sons and daughters, they serve in this military and have forever. We cannot deny, they cannot deny that our gente, our communities have given their lives serving in the military. You have given up, if they came back, even if they came back alive, they've given up so much, right? And with this going on right now, it's a war crime, straight up. And any soldier knows what a war crime is. Any soldier, anybody who's enlisted, they're instructed on this. That has always been the case, that they are not to follow illegal orders. Now, I'm not blaming the soldiers themselves, because the truth is, right now, what's happening is they got some incompetent leaders and some evil leaders. Some of those people that are over there taking orders from Donald Trump in Iran and around the world, for that matter, are people who probably shouldn't be in those positions. The senior staff. There was a time when Trump called in about 800 generals from throughout the world, because they got about 800 sites around the world, bases, and they had them all in one room. And the current Secretary of War, as they call it, Heshkev, whatever his last name is, Pete Heshkev, he gave a stupid speech, and so did Trump. But he told the generals that if they don't like it, they need to leave now, because they're going to do things differently. So a lot of the generals knew what was going on, and some of them did in fact leave, but a lot of them got fired, demoted, etc. So a lot of the clowns, a lot of these evil clowns right now doing the work for Donald Trump, are incompetent yes men and yes women who are just going to do as he says. So don't blame the soldiers, blame the generals, blame Donald Trump, blame his cabinet administration, and blame all those people at the top, because what they did by killing 165 little girls, they showed either that they're incompetent, don't know what they're doing, or two, they're evil, straight up evil. I think they're a little bit of both, but I think they're more number two, because they knew what they're doing. The United States has the most precise, when it comes to weapons, the most precise technology. They knew if they can find the leader of Iran and they could target him and his family, and they've been tracking them for months. They know what sites are schools and what sites are not. They targeted a school of little girls, killed 165 innocent little girls. That is a war crime. All right. So I want to make this video this morning, just to let everybody this is an update on the war. Now, most of you guys, some people will probably not care. And matter of fact, some people will probably support what this president is doing and what his cabinet is doing. I think y'all got issues, but if that's the case, if you still support this president and this cabinet, if you still support the United States of America out there, doing what they're doing, and you don't care, then fine, all right. But your cost of living is going up too, because sometimes that's all you care about is the money, right? The bag, right? The money. There's a lot of sellouts out there that promote this whole mentality about get the money, get the money. That's a sellout or an ignorant clown who doesn't know the difference between money and saving, and how to really deal with money. And I'm not talking about investments. I'm talking about who the money should be going to. Because remember, they're spending $1 billion a day. They're burning through money. So they got money for war, but can't feed the poor. They got money to kill little schoolgirls, but they can't give us health care. They got money for wars, but they can't help us with housing, and help us with people who are struggling just to, pay rent, buy food, right? And so for those people out there who make it a money issue, yeah, welcome to the party. You will soon be the one, getting jumped in this party because you think you're safe. Don't believe that. Don't believe that for a minute. This president has no loyalty to anybody. That everybody knows that all he cares about is himself, his name. That's all he cares about. As a matter of fact, when they killed those little 65 little girls the other day, he threw his own son-in-law, these negotiators. He threw Marco Rubio, Secretary of State. He threw everybody under the bus. He threw everybody under the bus and said that that's the information that was given to him. So for those of you who are putting it on money, good luck. It's going to bite you too if it hasn't already. Gas prices and everything else going up, and then he blames obviously Joe Biden. That's getting old right there. I personally, I wasn't crazy about Joe Biden. Still ain't about the Democratic Party. Those of you who know us, we do not just bow down to anybody. So we know what's really going on. People are seeing right through that. And then my message I have this morning before I close it out. This could be a short report here. Is that for our troops out there, for Raza and others who have a conscience, who have a heart, who know what's up, and who know that what they're doing is illegal. You have a right not to follow orders, illegal orders. This is against the Geneva Convention, but more importantly, it's the law in the United States of America. It is federal law. And I know Candace Owen, she's a podcaster, made a statement like that. And a lot of people were shaken by that. What do you mean she's saying this? Because remember, she's a conservative. She's a right winger. She used to be a big Trump supporter, now supposedly isn't. We've been talking like that forever. We've been making those statements on the left forever. Brown Berets specifically were formed to oppose the war in Vietnam. We were against those crazy wars that they were launching and sending our people to die for needlessly, just so somebody could get rich. Yeah, we were against that. We've learned from our elders, Carlos Montes. We've learned from our elders, Cynthia Barajas. We learned from our elders who've been there that this is, as brown berets, this is something we must oppose. These illegal wars. So again, for all those troops out there who are serving, think and dig deep. Muhammad Ali had a case go to the Supreme Court where he refused to enlist and go fight because it's called conscientious objector, and that's something where you pretty much, if you honestly and sincerely, because of your beliefs, whether it be religious or spiritual, whatever it may be, if you truly believe that this is wrong, you do not have to go, you do not have to enlist, and you do not have to fight. So find any legal means available to not follow these orders, not continue with this war. Get out if you can, and if any of you can, if you're stuck for whatever reason, do your best to let people know what's happening. You have social media out there, let us know what's happening, because right now the United States is not allowing the media to report what's truly happening on the ground down there. CNN, for example, who's supposedly on the left, they're over there reporting from Iran, but even Israel won't allow them to show certain things. They're reporting from Iran, but even they are not being allowed to talk about what truly is going on. Donald Trump says one thing, he means the opposite when he paints it all pretty, because he gaslights. When it doesn't look good for him, he'll paint something really ugly pretty. So no, he's lying. A lot of these news stations, a lot of them who are still with in the White House, listening to Donald Trump, they're only there because they allowed to give up their First Amendment right as a press. They allowed to compromise themselves as members of the press. If and with that said, before I forget, there's a site and a web podcast called Aslan Weekly. If you want to get some updates, listen to Aslan Weekly. If people don't know about Aslan Weekly, it's a great podcast with Raza from throughout the country, giving reports from New York to California to Texas, you name it. They're giving reports on what's going on, updates on what's going on in their city. Look up those sites like Martillo Press, I believe it is, with Matt Cedillo, who do KPFC and KPFA shows, and all those alternative medias. Look them up. They will tell you what's really going on. Even listen to Mexican podcasts like Rafita out of Mexico, El Sur, they call him Sur. And this guy, he's got a cowboy hat, he's a comunista, but he knows his stuff. Look up these alternative medias. You will get the actual news. Don't rely on the United States to give you the truth. So with that, again, the media is important, but going back to the soldiers, going back because of these little girls, please, men, women, and Raza out there who are serving right now, look into your heart, be a conscientious objector. Don't fall for this hype and this lie. Don't be an accomplice to genocide. Don't be an accomplice to homicide of little girls, such as what we saw happen the other day, where Donald Trump cowardly and selfishly denies that he knew anything. Plays dumb, but now we know the truth. A lot of us have known the truth. So do whatever you can to stay out of this war, to not fight this war, or to show us or tell us what's going on. Because we're going to rely on you as eyes on the ground, ears on the ground, to tell us the truth. Because right now we ain't getting the truth, and as Raza, And as revolutionaries, we definitely here back home have to have their back when they come back, because it's gonna be tough when they come back. With that, I'm out. Que viva la raza.